I'm processing my fresh nettle into a nettle vinegar. I'm going to infuse the vinegar with not just nettle but also horsetail. I'm making it with nettle and horsetail, and I'm going to use it on my hair. We've been super into hair health over here lately and really getting into the hair oil, and I think that having a vinegar rinse with these two plants will just like juice it up even further. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm not directly touching the nettle with my hands because it does have all those little stingers on it. So I just cut it off with my little clippers and then use those. A lot of people use gloves, but it's just not my thing. And I'm using specifically the leaves in here, and then I'll discard or compost the stems. The stems are really really spiky. So they have these little hairs that release chemicals when you brush against them. I was working with some of my nettle that I'm drying just a few minutes ago, and it got a little bit stung, but not too bad. Like, it's not the worst if you get stung. Some people even intentionally work with the sting of nettles to combat the pain and inflammation of rheumatoid arthritis. They literally, like, if your joint in your elbow was hurting, people literally take the nettle and beat it against where the pain is, and it's meant to really help with that. So I harvested more nettle than I need for my vinegar. You can see I have a lot in here, and what I'll do with most of it is put it in a bag, just a little paper bag, to dry it. It's the easiest way I've found to dry nettle. Okay, so I have a good amount in here. I'm also going to chop it up further, so I will increase the surface area that the vinegar has to interact with. And then I will add my horsetail and my apple cider vinegar. Nettle is like, I don't know, like maybe the most nutritious vitamin and mineral rich spring green that's out there, right? All the studies show that it's more nutrient dense than spinach. That's one of the ones that it gets compared to. So you can always saute this as you would with any green. Add it to eggs, add it to soups. There's also a recipe that I did for a nice green sauce with it raw. So I will add a little bit more eventually. But I also gathered horsetail, this little beauty, because horsetail is rich in silica. And I'll add these two together, and then what it will do when I use it as a rinse on my hair is it will help strengthen my hair and make it stronger and fuller and shinier and all the good things that one might want for their hair. I will infuse this for, I don't know, maybe like 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, and then strain out the plants and put it in either a spray bottle or some kind of dropper bottle and put it in my shower. You could also use this same infused vinegar in salads, like on a salad with a salad dressing, or you can drink it straight if you like, just a little bit, or mix it in with a little shot of water. It's really supportive for the digestion. Just putting a few more nettle friends in here to really spice it up. I feel like this is good. I'm going to cover it with apple cider vinegar and label it. Don't forget to label it. And then put it in a cool, dark place to infuse. You can make this just with nettle. You could add whatever else. There's so many beautiful spring plants out there right now. You could add dandelion, you could add violet. Some of those will make it a little sweeter if you're having it in your salad dressing and using it as a culinary vinegar. So just kind of see what's calling to you, and then you're gonna want to cover it. I made this apple cider vinegar. There's like some sediment in here. So this is covered. I might add a little more nettle, but I will put I'll push it down to make sure everybody is soaked up in the vinegar, and cover it with a plastic lid. I have some plastic lids that I use specifically when I'm working with vinegar. I wanted to say that you could also do an infused honey with nettle. Both nettle and local honey are going to help support you with allergies. If you're making an infused honey, I would recommend using dried nettle, because then your shelf life will be much longer. If you're using fresh nettle in the honey, the water content of the fresh nettle will just decrease your shelf life. Like honey's shelf life is kind of like forever. But if you introduce a dried plant, no change to that, right? It'll last a long time. But if you introduce a fresh plant into honey, you can totally do it. You just won't be able, the honey, you'll just want to watch it, and I would say it would be like 6 months to a year that you would be able to use that honey. And what I would do if I had bad allergies is dry some nettle now, infuse it in honey, and have it ready for the winter, when you can start kind of taking it on a regular basis and have your body interact with those different local constituents, right? And so you'll build up some immunity against the allergies. You can use this, like I said, I'm going to use it for a hair rinse. You could also use it as vinegar for salad dressing, and also as a digestive aid by taking it with a little bit of water or straight before eating. It'll help increase your digestive juices so that when the food comes in, your body's like all ready to go. So see what's out around you. There's so much coming up now in the spring. I feel like it's a great opportunity to just like have fun and don't worry too much about it. Like obviously you want to do your correct plant identification and make sure you know what you're working with, but I would say like just start experimenting and see who's calling out to you. There's so many beautiful plant allies available now in the spring. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and happy Beltane, happy May Day. It's the halfway point today between spring and summer.